So I wanted to talk to you today about the tone curve. If you're a beginner photographer or you're not used to using Lightroom, this is the tone curve here. It's basically used to control the contrast within your image. You can do a little bit more fine tuning with the tone curve than you can with just these sliders. Obviously, if we move these sliders up and down, we can see the changes on the photo. This tends to be quite a global change. So obviously, highlights, shadows, whites and blacks. Easy to add contrast. You can just pop that up if you want your image to have more contrast. Tone curve allows us to see this on a sort of graph. So on the left side here, we've got blacks, shadows, midtones, highlights, and whites. Pretty much everything we've got here. If you want to add contrast to an image, a simple way to do it, like I said, is just to pop this up or fiddle with these. On the tone curve, most common method is the S curve. So you pull the highlights up, pull your shadows down, and then sometimes you add a point in the midtones and push that up. You can see that added a lot of contrast. Our blacks are darker, our highlights and whites are a little bit more, and they're popping a little bit more because they've been pushed up. Another common method you might see portrait photographers use is creating a kind of accentuated curve like this, and then pulling the black point up so it's closer to the shadows. Same with white and highlights. It adds a little bit more of a vintage feel. So yeah, basically it's just a way to fine tune your lighting and your contrast without, fiddling with sliders. Maybe you've got a specific tone curve you like and you can just copy and paste that. It does also have its own for colors. Something to remember with the tone curve though, if you do move one point and you haven't anchored, so if I haven't clicked that there, to say I add more blue to our highlights by pulling it down, if I don't anchor this point, it's going to pull the opposite way for the shadows. So adding blue here will add red to the highlights unless I pin that where I want it to be. And that's the same with the black and white curve as well. If I pull the highlights up, it's going to pull the shadows down. So it's important to add these points when you open the tone curve. So you can just click where you want those to be. And then any adjustments are really going to change this portion of the curve. Hopefully that has been some help. If you've got any questions, please pop them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. Or even to make another video just to show you how you can really add some sort of artistic flair to your photos just by adding these points to the colors. But yeah,